dialed your operator.
Have no fear, fellow citizens. The Mediator is here.
Good morning and many blessings this holiday season. Welcome to this week's edition of The Mediator with me, your host, Brian West. Here to give you the top 8 headlines and developing news stories that made in this week. Now, as usual, I give you the top 8 local headlines and developing news stories that made in first, followed by a movie clip, a skit, a trailer, something that's going on in the community, or maybe some pictures. And then I'll give you the top 8 international headlines and developing news stories that made it, folks. So let's waste no time. Merry Christmas. Woo-wee! Let's get to it. Story number 1. Asbestos causes a stir in Trumbull County. Asbestos is in the headlines after the Trumbull County Board of Elections will be closed until December 27th for asbestos removal. The building was being renovated when the asbestos was found. The story crept in because there's been a lot of buildings under the radar and locally. Big headline. Story number 1. Story number 2. Downtown building sold. It appears that the downtown former Huntington Bank building has been sold. At the moment, the buyer has not been mentioned, but the report made front page headlines December 15th showing that there's a lot of activity going on in downtown Youngstown. That's why story number 2 made it this week. Story number 3. A lot of money is being poured into Youngstown. What does that mean? Over $80 million in ARP funding, American Rescue Plan funding, and now a Vindicator staff report on a downtown building set to receive funding for rehabilitation has made headlines. The Mahoning National Bank building is on a list of 57 landmark buildings in Ohio set to be restored. Now, the money will be used to create residential apartments. 21 communities are set to receive about $64,132,847 in tax credits. Now, the project in Youngstown is estimated to cost around $12,163,874 with a tax credit of $1.2 million. So this means that there's a lot of activity going on in Youngstown, especially a lot of taxpayer money being floated around. And what does that mean? That means that accountability, meeting budget goals, and auditing and all that other stuff and seeing where the money going is going to be very crucial in shaping Youngstown's future, because the more you ask for, the more you get, the more people and taxpayers will be on the radar. Big headline. Story number 3. Story number 4. Governor DeWine, talk about the radar, is on the radar for a gambling pact. Now, one front page article published December 21st highlights DeWine's decision to open up sports betting in Ohio. Now, nearly $1 million to a nonprofit group and the re-election of Mike DeWine has him in the spotlight as a key decision maker in the future of Ohio's stance on gambling. And right now, it seems to be an open door to gambling. Now, in January, the tables were turned, allowing the $1 billion industry to spread their wings in Ohio. Now, the article goes on to mention how RGA funneled more than $2.2 million through DeWine's campaign and his opponents, not just DeWine, Democrats also. Now, the story goes on to follow a trail of money, putting the governor and a lot of Ohio political leaders on the radar. The story is still developing. That's why story number 4 crept in. Story number 5. 2 deaths on the west side under investigation, west side of Youngstown. A man aged 51 and a woman aged 41 were found dead with gunshot wounds Tuesday afternoon on the city's west side, according to a report published in the Vindicator. Now, they were found on the 1900 block of Cherry Hill Avenue. The deaths are still being investigated, adding a lot more woes to Youngstown's crime-fighting problem. Big headline because the deaths are reeling in and a lot of people want to answer. Story number 5, big headline. Story number 6. If you listen to story number 5, I just have to say, don't let the 2% discourage you. There's still a lot of land and opportunity in Youngstown. Story number 6, $78.8 million budget approved. $78.8 million budget approved. A county budget hearing moved forward with Mahoning County Commissioners approving the 2023 budget of $78.8 million. Director Audrey Tillis goes on to explain in this article published by the Mediator that the budget is expected to consist of $42.8 million for the general fund and $36 million for the criminal justice fund. According to an article published December 20th, this totals out to be about $78.8 million worth of spending, thus accounting for a budget approval of $78.8 million. That's why story number 6 almost made it to the top 2 this week. We're talking money. Big head. Story number 7 in the top 2. Local headlines and developing news stories that made this week. Folks, it is Christmas time locally. I hope you all are enjoying your holiday. I hope everybody has enjoyed their Christmas Eve last night and opened up gifts and getting ready for the new year. This is probably the last show of this year, so we'll be heading into the new year. And I thank you all of my audience, for the people who do watch the show. Thank you for coming into the store, showing me your support. I greatly appreciate it. I'm just a little man with a lot of big ideas, but this show was one of my big ideas when I was sitting back and had nothing to do. I used to do the late show, but I'm in here for you, and now I'm pushing out story after story every week for the greater good, and that's what I'm here for. So let's get to story number 7. Emergency levy needed for Youngstown schools. Treasurer Brian Schiraldi informed his fellow Youngstown board members and administrators that a 4-year emergency levy for the Youngstown schools will be expiring, causing a spark to inform voters to renew the levy passed in 2020. So they want this levy renewed. The levy gives the city about $5.3 million per year of taxpayer funds. Now, this story is still developing because there's already been so much money dished out to the schools that pretty soon people will be wanting accountability, and that's why story number 7 almost made it to the top this week. Big headline. Story number 8 and the top local headline and developing news story that made it this week. You know, some people ask, they say, Brian, what are you getting out of the deal? Come in here, you don't get anything. Folks, what I get is I get work. I have to commit myself to work so that the people out there, the next generation, will see that nothing can be handed to you, that you must work to the bone until somebody, you get one viewer, one person shows up to the party, and that's what I'm getting out of it. Story number 8. I'm working for you. Story number 8. Plan reached for ambulance service. This was big. The AMR, there's finally been a plan reached. 5 council members moved forward on a plan to support an ambulance contract with the city. A 5-1 vote Friday approved legislation to appropriate nearly $3.968 million in federal American Rescue Plan money to fund a 3-year contract with emergency medical transport and emergency ambulance service. Now, ending its contract with AMR. Now, the one no vote by Councilman Jimmy Hughes stated how he would have liked to see, or would have liked to have, some better options. Julius Oliver, who was very, very displeased with AMR's services. So this is all according to a Vindicator article. They're all looking at this new deal, and some people are just not happy with it. So this article was published December 17th. That's why I made it this week. Well, folks, those are our top 8 local headlines and developing news stories that made this week. I'll be right back with top 8 international headlines and developing news stories. So don't you go anywhere. You're at the Mediator, Meet Brian West. I'll be right back.
Tune in and don't forget to subscribe to Method 8 Inc. YouTube channel. You can also watch free public entertainment. And don't forget to show some support by visiting www.method8inc.com by buying something, clicking something, watching something, or just reading something. You can also sponsor a program as well.
What does Method8inc.com Media Center have that I need? small prints, event consulting, photography, business consulting, technical consulting, entertainment consulting, fundraising advice, event videography, movies, news, publishing, media, books, entertainment, acting, broadcasting, public relations, access to the visual and performing arts, ink and black ink refills, audio recording, graphic design, theater, minor computer and cell phone repair, and they're located at 5648 Market Street in Boardman, Ohio from 10 a.m. until 6 p.m. every Monday through Friday. The list goes on and on.
Method8inc.com. Buy stuff, watch stuff, or read stuff.
Oh yeah! And yes, we are chipmunks.
Welcome back. Now it's time to get to the top 8 international headlines and developing news stories that made this week, folks. It is the new year, and if we learned anywhere headed into the new year, this is Christmas time. This is Christmas Day. If we learned anything about last year, folks, we learned not to talk too much about which candidate you voted for, because it can literally get you vanished from the family, divorced, shot at, killed, defriended on social media. Folks, we learned a lot in 2022 about politics. We learned about politicians losing, what to do when your politician loses, what to do when your politician wins. The fact is that some people have judged and killed in the name of their politician. Some people have decided to rebel, use race. If we learned anything from 2022, it's that if you're going to get a big piece at a big spot at the dinner table, you want to show up, you don't want to be vanished from the dinner table or banned from the dinner table, or if you want that pay raise, shut up. Don't mention nothing about politics on the workroom floor. Just work. Work. Don't mention nothing about Obama, Trump, Biden. Just work. Do you get paid to debate? No. Do you get paid if your candidate wins or loses? Your job, your family, your friends are more important. Shut up! Yes, we have to vote, but that politician is not going to magically make us magically delicious and smarter. No. Well, folks, that's what we got to learn in 2023. We have to figure out how we're going to get this right as a country, the United States of America. So let's waste no time, folks. I didn't get all riled up. Let me grab my 2023. Let's get to it. Story number 1. Female officers and their voices make headlines. That's something we learned in 2022 also. USA Today has a story from a female police officer's perspective. This is a very special story. Headed into 2023, the piece deserves a read, especially after another year filled with chaotic policing stories. The story should provide a side of policing stories from a female's point of view and could spark some needed discussions in the justice system and could possibly get things resolved, because that's what females like to do, right? We like to listen to them. We like to dance with them. We like to hear their side of the story because it adds such a spiritual blessing to us. So let's listen. Story number 1. Hopefully the females can get things ironed out when it comes to justice and policing. Big help. Story number 2. Portland wants to forget a year of violence. Police will wave goodbye to 2022, and many will not look back. Portland is just one of a few U.S. cities trying to get over a year filled with violence. A number of other U.S. cities have made headlines this year, with some even talking about defunding the police. Oh, is that the most... I'm not even going to say anything. It's almost like defunding Santa Claus and the kids protesting, where are their gifts? Or the parents protesting Christmas, not getting any children anything. I'm sure y'all understand, get it. The drama unfolding in 2022 should make 2023 a year devoted to undoing the woes of whatever policies are left to right the wrongs of the current year, 2022. So, when this year is gone, let's let all your troubles be forgot and look to 2023. Story number 2, big head. Story number 3, a lot of unsettledness on the global stage. Here are some stories trending, folks, in the global arena. North Korea is threatening bold military steps against Japan in the wake of Tokyo defense buildup. North Korea has also been in the headlines for its progress in the ICBM arena. And then Russia and China also made some headlines after uniting for live fire naval exercises in the waters near Japan. Now, each of these headlines show developing unsettledness headed into 2023. So foreign affairs will also be on the list of things to do in 2023. Big headline. How will we settle a world thirsting for some action? Big headline. Story number 4. Border policies cause more buzz. Chief Justice John Roberts has temporarily blocked the Biden administration from ending the pandemic-era Title 42 immigration policy. Now, a still consistent flow of border stories is what got the story in. Now, there seems to still be a lot of attention on the U.S.-Mexico border, even as Canada plans to open up its doors to immigrants. Now, a bulk of the voting base continue to hammer the Biden administration on their border stance. This is while White House Press Secretary Karen Jean-Pierre insists that the border is not open. Now, this story continues to gain steam because everybody is concerned about the U.S.-Mexico border, especially those living by it. Now, those are our top 8 international, top 4 international headlines in developing news stories that made this week. I'll be right back with the top 4. So don't you go anywhere. You're in the Mediator, B. Brown West. I'll be right back. If you want to check out the stories that almost made it in or did make it in, go to our Twitter feed on our website. Check out everything. All of the sources are there. Go to the website. Welcome back. Now it's time to get to the top 4 international headlines and developing news stories that made this week, folks. I used to party when I was a kid. I haven't partied. I've learned that it's become a waste of time. And every time I go into any type of juke joint, people are always surprised to see me. Hey, Brian, what are you doing in here? I mean, girls in there doing that Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis jams and jiggling and I got soul, baby. I mean, they all over the place, jiggling and popping, and I just can't take it no more. It ain't in my DNA to do it no more. Especially now New Year's 2023, I plan to work twice as much as I was working all these other years. I think work is good, and it's Christmas time now, but the next show will be in 2023. So people have been trying to get me to go out and do the booty dance and jiggle and jangle and go to the juke joint. I say, Brian, you need to get out. You need to get some loving in your life. But I say no. I think America needs to work. Yeah. I went to go see a movie, and it's Wakanda Forever. and I saw all the good reviews, and then I saw the bad reviews. And I thought about myself. And I thought about the scene in the movie where she was fighting when the queen went in and she, have I not given everything for Wakanda? And that's what I'm going to say. Have I not given everything for mediation? And that's my story headed into 2023. I've spent a lot of time on this program. And I will give my life to see mediation, to stand in the middle of an argument and be vindicated by something, a peaceful diplomatic resolution. That's why I must give my life in here. So if I'm ever in front of the camera and I literally pass out, they have to pick up the pieces of the Mediator, you will see mediation forever. Yes. Well, folks, that's my story. Got all riled up for nothing. I guess I'll finish telling 4 more stories to bring us into the new year. That's as exciting as it's going to get. Well, folks, we're headed into 2023. Let's get to it. Story number 5. I think one more Christmas song I can sing headed into 2023. Oh boy, I'll think of one. Story number 5. The White House is in budget mode, folks. Lawmakers unveil a $1.7 trillion spending package with a $40 billion to assist. There's a $40 billion price tag to assist communities across the country recovering from the droughts, hurricanes, and other natural disasters. There's some other stuff in this package, and this is the one I had to point out. There's a 10% boost in defense spending to aid Ukraine. Now, that 10% equals out to about $772.5 billion for non-defense discretionary programs and $858 billion in defense funding, according to a USA Today report. There is more stuff in the spending bill. Right now, it's almost getting through the House, and if it does, it'll be probably signed by President Biden, because Biden is on another planet right now. Now, a government shutdown is looming unless a budget plan is passed. That's story number 5 made it this week. Big headline. Story number 6. America's drug problem is affecting children. The state of Illinois is in headlines after seeing a significant rise in children hospitalizations for accidentally ingesting edible marijuana products, according to a Fox News report. Wow, you think we get it by now. Now, this is yet another case of a country flowing with drug problems that many feel are being swept under the rug. So we have a lot of drug problems. A lot of people are saying, is anybody going to do anything about it? Now you have kids getting into the mix. America is still in a battle to crawl out of a still growing pit of drug abuse cases. Folks, this story is still developing and almost made it to the top 2 this week. Story number 7 and the top 2. International headlines and developing news stories that made this week, folks. Rocking around the Christmas tree. It's my last Christmas jam of the year. And then I'll be headed into 2023. I wonder what it brings. I've lost my grandmother this year, seen my mom cry, lost a few cousins to incarceration. Maybe in 2023, somebody will finally come to my door on my birthday in their birthday suit. A nice, fine style. Well, girly. I like girls. I like women, Big light. Well, I keep that to myself. Story number 7. What is causing a rise in respiratory viruses? Headed into 2023, the CDC does not have good news for those with respiratory problems. According to a Fox News report, viruses will continue to spread for weeks and even months, which could put a strain on the nation's already hampered healthcare system. This story is still developing. Let's get rid of the flu. Big headline. Story number 8 to the top. International headline and developing news story that made it this week. Don't worry, I got you heading into 2023. If ain't nobody gonna do what I do, if ain't nobody gonna do it how I do it, if ain't nobody gonna say it how I say it, then I'm gonna do it myself in 2023. Story number 8. Ooh-wee. I got something for you. It's a story. Oh, lucky number 8 ball. Big headline. What will 2023 bring? These are some predictions, especially after 2022. Here's some stuff. COVID-19 policies revealed a lot about America's true colors in 2022. Yes, they did. Brought out the brave, brought out the weak, all that stuff. Well, 2023 will most likely be a year of revelation, a test of people's faith, and a time to see how those who made it to another year will progress into the future. A lot of people were lost in 2022. The education system and the medical industry will also be on notice as the political climate continues to thicken. There will also continue to be a battle between the informed and the uninformed. The drug war will also probably progress in 2023. Foreign affairs and Russia's current war with Ukraine could also reveal some frightening realities about allies and enemies on a global scale. You heard it here first. Story number 8. What will 2023 bring, folks? Well, folks, let all your troubles, everything that you left in 2022 be forgot. Next time you see me on this station, Lord willing, it will be 2023. Well, folks, those are our top 8 local and international headlines and developing news stories that made it this week. I hope you got something out of today's program. I always get something out of doing the research. As usual, I'd like to thank all the news outlets, the journalists, the people on the front lines, the media. You deserve all the credit. I'm just the media, the man in the middle. If you want to show some support here at Method 8, it does not take much. All you have to do is visit the website on the screen, buy something, click on something, watch something, read something, or just sponsor a program. Or you can stop at the store at 5648 Market Street and buy something, get your car detailed or whatever you want to do. Well, folks, I am out of here. Happy New Year. Merry Christmas. I am out of here. I will be back next week, looking through over 200 more stories to keep you informed. Have a good week, everybody. Thank you for tuning to The Mediator this week with me, Brian West. Peace.
If you need help, then dial your operator.
Have no fear, fellow citizens. The Mediator is here.